Hello, my friends. Thank you for coming by. I wanted to hang out with you guys for a little while again for a couple of reasons, actually. First of all, ever since I came to YouTube as a reader, that is not doing readings so much in person, but general readings on YouTube. It is an interesting process for a reader like myself because I am, as I've said before, an empath more than a psychic. And so I do tap into the energy of the individuals that I'm reading for and the energies directly around them. So tapping into the greater collective has been an interesting process. I do like it though. But one of the challenges is that at times it can feel like I'm just talking into the ether, you know? There's no direct energy tap in. So I want to get a little bit more direct with my friends. I'm so pleased to have you on my path. And as my learning process unrolls here, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about first of all is that currently I don't offer private readings. There's several reasons for that. I do them in person, IRL as the kids say, and have for quite some time. But arranging that sort of thing in an online platform is just for someone like me not a thing I do. It's not something I'm willing to make the energetic space for. However, I have been taking a tarot certification program from one of my fellow online readers and mentors, Mary Jo over at Soulful Revolution. I finished that program in May and intend to become a reader as part of her collective. Once that happens, I will be opening up for general online readings. All of the booking will be done through her site. I, of course, will update you guys on that if you're interested. But I want to start connecting right now. So I'd like to do a free reading giveaway. This is all based around the full moon in Scorpio coming up on the 23rd of September. Interesting. I'll tell you why that's interesting in a minute, but it's coming up on the 23rd of April. It plays that whole transit as well as the support of astrology plays such a big role in my personal chart. My Scorpio is my chart ruler and it is dominant throughout my chart. Its opposite sign of Taurus is in my moon and there's plenty of action in Taurus at the time of that full moon. I'm not going to go into it, but this is why I chose this time to do this, to start connecting with you guys. It is also how I work with astrology, which is why I'm not so great at the whole organization of things and the whole technical, running of things. If you're interested in entering to have a private reading with me, then leave a comment in the description box below. I'm going to keep the comments private for your privacy and also for my own. And I will go through them on that full moon and choose the one I feel most drawn to. It doesn't matter what the comment is. Just let me know that that's what you're interested in. Now, if you're a close personal friend of mine, and I know you guys watch and I love you, but there's no need for you to enter that as you know. I'm gonna give you readings whenever you need them anyway. Love you guys. Okay. What you can expect from a personal reading with me is that it is quite personal. That's just how I read cards. They are very heavily astrological based because I am an astrologer first and foremost. And because for me, tarot and astrology is like a magical combination. It just, for me, takes it to a whole other level. So I will want to know some of your astrology. If we're doing a love reading, your person's as well would be more than helpful. Although sometimes we can deduce that through the cards anyway. My process is very informal, as I mentioned, and quite personal. I do want to talk to you first. I want to connect to you because of that empathic read that I do. We can do that through video. We can do that through phone. We can do that through text if you're more comfortable with that. Like a short 10-minute conversation, just so that we can energetically tap in. I do find that's a lot better for me than, say, a more anonymous questionnaire type standard format. That being said, my readings aren't standard either. They don't tend to follow any kind of structure. I do like to go with the flow, and I do like to be very collaborative with you. So if you have your own tarot deck, bring it to the session. We can work together. For me, that is the best way to use tarot. If you're not into that, that's cool as well. I still like the collaborative process when it comes to tarot. This is me, you, and spirit working together, you know? So that said, like, leave a comment below. I only really have time right now to choose one. I'd love to give you all personal readings. I hope you do connect to some of the messages in my general readings. As always, you're not going to tap into all of them. I'm trying to get a bigger collective. Sometimes, even though they're general, they tend to be quite specific. There's a reason for that. It's partly because the energies that are the closest and the loudest tend to be the ones we pick up on the most. It's just how it is, or at least for myself as a collective reader. I wanted to also share with you guys a few comments as an avid tarot listener. When I was planning to make the transition from personal readings, IRL, to doing some more online general readings, I, of course, immersed myself in the culture. That's what I do. I'm an experiential learner, so I am an avid tarot watcher. I have my favorites. Among them is Sand Tarot, Soulful Revolution, of course. Of course, I'm going blank, but there's many more. I'll put some in the description box below. But I highly recommend Sand for sure. My fellow Canadian as well, and just an amazing reader. That said, what I wanted to share with you is some of the things I've learned as a reader online in the past year. I used to have a different channel as well. I left it shortly to do a tarot-based podcast, but I wanted to come back to reading. Altogether about 1.5 years of reading online. And some of the things I've noticed is this. First and foremost, I have cross-watched when I was leaving a relationship, when my marriage was ending. I did tend to watch for the other person. Now, most of the time, because my energy was up front and center, those cross-watching readings are more geared towards myself. Every so often, I would stumble upon one that was actually talking to them about me. And although I do pride myself on being very self-reflective, I'll say that many times in those types of readings, it isn't that the energy they weren't picking up on as me was true. It's that it was incredibly unsympathetic and unnuanced. Now, of course, our job as readers is to work with you and to offer you advice. But I think looking at your other person with that kind of eye does no service to your learning, to your heart, or to the relationship you were in. It definitely goes a whole lot deeper than that. And I'm just saying that as a cross-watch listener, every once in a while they would be talking about me and they'd be like, this person this and this person this. And I'd be like, okay, yes. But you know, there's a whole history and emotional back and forth and process behind that. So I love it, especially when you're watching my readings, if you keep that in mind. Okay? It's always a whole lot more nuanced than it seems in general readings, right? A lot of people also ask me, what sign do you watch? Myself, I don't think it matters. I tend to be drawn very strongly to Aquarius readings. I have 0 Aquarius in my chart, but often they are very resonant for me. Now, I have a ton of Leo in my chart, Aquarius being the opposite sign, but that is how generalized it can get. When I listen to love readings for myself, I sometimes listen to Gemini. Again, 0 Gemini in my chart, in fact, 0 air. But my 7th house ruler, the house of my relationships, is Gemini. And I'm telling you guys, no word of a lie, they often resonate. We can get into the nuances of the progress chart, of your person's chart. This is why it doesn't work to only watch your sign. So for myself, what I recommend doing is connecting to a particular reader or a few of them, who you resonate with them, with their energy, because then we're on the same energetic wavelength, right? And from there, if they do a 12-sign rotation or whatever, pick the ones that you're drawn to. Or if you're a bit of a tarot nut, you can watch all the ones from the readers you love. There's always going to be information. We are a collective, however you want to do that. But one of the reasons why we read it sign by sign is because you guys, myself being you guys as well, look for a way to kind of reduce the search right? But what I don't love about that is that part of the process is you tapping into your intuition as well. Maybe you're not going to get a Leo reading that resonates. Maybe you'll get an Aquarius one that does. It depends on what you're drawn to at that time, and I think that's also very important. So, all right, you guys, those are 2 major tips I just wanted to share with you that I myself as a reader have noticed. I'd love to have a reading with you guys. Eventually, I do plan to have some interactive things as well, because really I do tarot because I love people, and I love the human heart, and I love love. That's why I'm here. All right, you guys, thank you for hanging out. Leave your comment below. I'll go through them and we'll talk on that full moon in Scorpio. I look forward to meeting you. Namaste, my friends.